Summer in the city has a power that can't really be effectively described, only experienced. The heat isn't just a temperature, it is a force. And sure, there are things we can do to attempt to make ourselves more comfortable. Take a dip in the pool, grab an ice cream cone, hide out in an air-conditioned place, but some days that really only helps for a minute. Why is it that the way we experience heat can be so different from one day to another? What factors affect our thermal experience, and can they be improved? Let's think about how. This is ASU. The Global Society of Heating Engineers and Consultants, known as ASHRAE, defined thermal comfort in their Standard 55 as the condition of mind that expresses satisfaction with a thermal environment, assessed by subjective evaluation. The most important phrase in this definition is subjective evaluation, because thermal comfort is different for everyone. Environmental factors can only explain about 50% of how comfortable a person feels. Those factors include meteorological conditions we can objectively measure using sensors, including air temperature, mean radiant temperature, wind speed, and relative humidity. However, there is much more to thermal comfort than weather. Meteorological conditions only account for about 50% of a person's thermal sensation. The other 50% can be attributed to dynamic human parameters. Personal factors play a large role in how a person experiences the thermal environment. Those factors include metabolic rate, which is the amount of energy per unit of time that a person expends to perform a certain task, clothing insulation, which is a measure of the thermal insulation provided by clothing that a person is wearing, and a person's age, gender, and fitness level. Psychological factors also influence how comfortable you feel. For example, if a thermal environment meets your expectations, you are less likely to feel uncomfortable. It also makes a difference if you are adapted to hot or cold temperatures and for how long you are exposed. All of these physical, physiological, psychological, and behavioral factors must be addressed to fully understand an individual's subjective thermal sensation. Now, how can we measure a person's thermal comfort? Well, the environmental or objective factors can be measured using metrological instruments, such as an air temperature and humidity probe, an anemometer, which is a wind sensor, and a globe thermometer, or mobile analytical unit like MARDI, to measure mean radiant temperature. The personal or subjective factors are usually quantified through surveys. Respondents note their so-called thermal sensation vote on a scale from 1 to 9, with 1 meaning very cold, 5 being neutral, and 9 being very hot. Respondents also answer questions about their clothing, thermal history, and other personal factors we just discussed. The answers are then linked to the weather conditions at the time of the survey to find out what drives an individual's thermal comfort. A study in Phoenix, Arizona, showed that shade is the main environmental driver of thermal comfort when it is hot and dry. In the summertime, shade improved thermal comfort by 1 point on the thermal sensation scale. The researchers found that in hot, dry, sunny weather conditions, outdoor thermal comfort is mainly driven by the radiative heat exchange between the human body and the environment. And mean radiant temperature becomes much more important for thermal comfort than air temperature or humidity. A follow-up study investigated the performance of artificial shade from photovoltaic canopies, umbrellas, shade sails, and other engineered structures in comparison to trees. The researchers found that all shade is great and improves thermal comfort when it is hot. This will help cities manage shade in places where trees cannot be planted due to infrastructure challenges. So, even though the heat is powerful, it's not undefeatable. There are things we can do to improve our comfort in the hottest months, such as carrying an umbrella, wearing long-sleeve, lightweight clothing, and seeking shade. The science is here to adjust the physical aspects of urban space, but we also need to recognize the physiological and psychological aspects as well. When we bring this understanding together, we can make a difference. By understanding the impacts of the materials and designs we choose to shape the urban space around us, we can take the heat out of all of our lives. This was ASU. Thanks for watching.